Resident Evil fans keep asking the same question: is Leon Kennedy infected? But maybe the real question isn't about the future. Maybe it's about something that started a long time ago. Many Resident Evil fans say that Leon Kennedy could be infected, and not just because of the latest trailer. But instead of asking what might happen, I want to understand why this question exists in the first place. Because this idea didn't came from nowhere. Maybe fans aren't guessing randomly. Maybe they remembered something about Leon and about the world of Resident Evil itself.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different.
If you played the older Resident Evil games, you know this already. Infection in Resident Evil is not just about monsters, it's about what stays inside you. The franchise has shown again and again that viruses and parasites don't always end things quickly. Sometimes they linger, sometimes they change you slowly, sometimes the consequences don't appear until years later. And this is not speculation, this is part of the canon. Resident Evil has repeatedly shown that infection can leave long-term physical and psychological effects. Not every infected character turns immediately into a creature. Not every infection is visible. Some are silent, some allow the host to keep living, almost normally. And the clearest example of this is Ethan Winters.
Welcome to the family, son.
In Resident Evil 7, Ethan believes he's a normal human being fighting infected monsters. He feels fear, pain, love, just like any other person. But later, the game reveals something disturbing. Ethan himself was infected very early, and he didn't know it. Jack Baker kills Ethan near the beginning of Resident Evil 7. What continues walking afterward is not a normal human body, but a body sustained by the mold. Despite this, Ethan keeps going. He lives his life believing he's still human. Ethan remains infected throughout the entire events of Resident Evil 7. And even years later, in Resident Evil Village, he's still alive, functional and unaware of the full truth. His infection doesn't scream. It doesn't show obvious symptoms. It lets him live. This proves something very important about Resident Evil's infections. They don't always destroy the body immediately. Some infections are silent and last for years, and some allow the host to keep moving forward until the truth finally catches up. Now, this doesn't mean Leon Kennedy is infected. There is no confirmation, but it does show that being infected without knowing is already part of Resident Evil's canon, so the idea itself is possible. It has already happened. Leon Kennedy was infected with Las Plagas in Resident Evil 4. He survived, he was cured, but the long-term consequences of that infection were never fully explored. Capcom confirmed Leon survived, but they never confirmed that nothing stayed behind. Leon then disappears from mainline games for years, and maybe that absence isn't about age or retirement or timing. Maybe Leon didn't disappear because the world no longer needed him, but because he knew what he was carrying. So if Resident Evil Requiem brings Leon back, it might not be the story of a man discovering the truth. It might be the story of a man who has already been living with it. So the real question isn't, is Leon infected? The real question is, did anything ever truly leave him? And if Resident Evil Requiem is about consequences, then Leon Kennedy is impossible to ignore. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know what you think. Do you believe Leon's past is still affecting him? Or do you think Resident Evil Requiem is hiding something much bigger? Leave a comment, like the video if it helped you see things differently, and subscribe for more Resident Evil deep dives. See you in the next one.